What's up, man?
You've been on the show
Good to see
many
you.
a time. I don't know if you've ever been in studio, right?
No, I haven't. First
This
time.
is a big deal. How are you?
Good.
How much do you hate me because this is the day before weigh-ins, right?
I'm chilling, bro. Like this,
You're good?
The season format makes it pretty easy to go.
Okay. How much you weigh right now? You're looking very svelte.
I think 164.
Okay. And that's okay for you?
Yep.
The day before weigh-ins, no problem.
weigh-ins,
Because
yeah.
some people might say, oh, 9 pounds. Actually, you get 8 pounds, right? Because it's a non.
So I'll do 4 tonight, 4 tomorrow.
How are you doing?
Good.
Everything good?
Everything's good.
New York Stock Exchange today.
Yeah, man, that was cool.
They're treating you well?
Oh yeah, for sure. PFL is definitely taking care of us. They had this like crazy banner of us out there. It was like hugest thing I've ever seen of myself.
You're happy? Like you're happy with the decision? Life is good?
Oh yeah, man, life is great. You know, I just had a baby girl.
I see you with
the playoffs
the baby.
now. In the
You
playoffs,
rewound the tape.
I did.
It's
man.
like say
Yes,
like
yeah,
your oldest is how old?
11.
11. You went all the way back to
all
diapers.
the way back to diapers. But it's different now. Now technology, I got a little camera that tells us
Right, I
if
saw
she's
that.
breathing and all
Right.
that stuff. It's crazy.
So let's talk about this because this is fascinating. You're fighting Stevie Ray, main event on Friday. You just fought the guy.
Yeah.
Like end of June, and that was shocking. Did not see that coming. Could you tell? So you lose via body triangle. What does that feel like? Because you watched that.
It was a different kind of body triangle, though. Honestly, he had something good set up for me. It's funny because early in the week I posted an Instagram post and I'm like, it works every time. My back escape because I've done it to Diaz, Oliveira, like some of the best jiu-jitsu guys out there. So he must have been watching and he had a plan for me. So like when I initiated that takedown, I sloppy single leg. It was my fault on a technical error, but he took my back. I gave him my back. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna let him give my back, and I'm gonna get the reversal, get on top, and win the round on top. And he caught me in a position that just compromised the rib.
So what does that feel like? Does it feel like it's like popping?
Well, it actually happened in the Dustin Poirier fight. So
yes.
Poirier had me in the
I remember
body
that.
triangle, and I kind of did the same shit. I tried to like get out of a body triangle without clearing the body triangle.
Oh yeah, we'll get it closer to you there.
Oh, cool.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it.
And so the cartilage in the rib popped, So it was weird because I've never had 2 fights booked back to back. Like I already knew I had this playoff spot confirmed. So
Right.
like, that fight was like it wasn't a free fight, but it was like don't get hurt, point spar the guy, get out of there, get a win. And I got put in a position that I never got put in before.
Did you perhaps underestimate him? He hadn't fought for 3 years, came back, had the one fight, but you've been way more active than him. You're Anthony Pettis, for goodness sake. Like, did you think like, all right, I could,
Not necessarily him, but just the fact that I had my guaranteed playoff spot. I was like, this fight kind of didn't matter. It was like, yo, I'm in the playoffs no matter what, whether it was him, Haush Metafeel, like it didn't really matter to me. But getting motivated for that training camp was kind of hard because like I knew it didn't really matter to me.
You got the win in the previous fight.
Yep,
You
first
looked
round.
amazing. Did that feel like a weight lifted off your shoulders, considering how last year went for you? Like, could you describe what that felt like? Because when I saw you there, I was like, oh, snap, like Anthony is back.
Yeah, bro, last year was rough. Like the first season of the PFL, just because of the COVID thing, man. Like
Yeah.
they had us in hotel for like 3 weeks before a fight, and then we go back to back to back. So like I literally was at home for like 3 weeks at a time, and then right back to that bubble.
Right.
So I didn't like the way that went. I even told Duke, I'm like, man, I don't know if this is for me. Like the way this format is, no fans in the arena.
Right.
This season we had the fans in. I felt good. I was in Texas. People came out to support, and I knew what I had to do. I started training camp really early, and I made it happen.
Okay, so you felt good, and then you get the win. And I'm sure there's part of you that's like, I need to prove to these guys that I'm worth the money that they're paying me, right? I need to win.
Most definitely.
So did you feel like, all right, now I could breathe, now I could be myself? You felt like that confidence back after the win?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, like I've been there before. I've been on the Wheaties box to
Yes,
losing 4
there
in
it
a
is.
row, bro. Like at lightweight. So then I moved down to 45, fought Oliveira, got a win out against Oliveira. So like I've been in that position where you lose a couple in a row and you doubt yourself and you start thinking of the worst case scenarios. But I'm a bounce back king.
I didn't even remember that right there. And we got the bobblehead too.
I see.
Look at that.
I'm
You're
on the Wall of
represented.
Fame. I love it.
When did you find out about that? Like, when did they approach you about that?
Right
I remember this was right before Melendez.
Right before Melendez, yeah.
So like, how did it all go down?
They were doing that next challenge. There were like 4 athletes were gonna like compete, and the UFC got a place on there. And I think John Jones did something bad to Dana at that point, and I was like the next guy in line. So
Really?
he's like, "Yeah, I want you on this, competition." And the UFC went out and they made us win. So yeah,
Did you get paid for that?
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Do you have
He's
any
sponsored.
boxes?
Oh, I got a bunch of them.
You do?
Yeah.
So was it just for that fight that they paid you, or was it like a sponsorship
Promotional.
deal?
Yeah, it was a sponsorship deal.
Really?
Yeah. So they paid me for the Melendez fight, and then I got a promotional deal with them. For
Wow.
General
That
Motors,
is,
yeah.
does that feel like a lifetime ago?
Oh man, it's crazy. To see it, even to see it now, people still come for me to autograph those things. I'm like,
Really?
Man, I've been in this sport for a long time.
It's been a crazy ride. So then you have that, and now you get to rematch him. Did you realize right away that, like, based on how the seedings, because you're 1, he's 4,
Yeah.
that it's going to be right? I mean, what was it, like a month and a half? No, not even a month and a half. Like 6
5
weeks,
weeks ago,
right?
6
Yeah.
weeks ago, yeah.
Did you realize right away that that's what
Yeah,
was
I
gonna
knew.
happen?
Yeah, because the lightweights went before us, so like we were on the next card after, so I already knew like the format of the playoffs, and it was just weird. I was already guaranteed a spot, so I'm like, I'm going to that fight like. I don't have to do anything in this fight. It's just I'm guaranteed this fight, which
Right.
this is the one that matters. And now he put me in that position, and like when I'm in that position, it was like a split instinct that I was like, yo, should I let this rib pop and fight through this? Because I probably could have fought through the body triangle, but I'm like, man, this fight is the one that matters. And like for me, it's like the championship was the goal the whole time. So I was like, I'm not gonna get hurt in that fight. So this fight, I'm gonna be good.
The $1 million.
Of course.
So you get paid the same.
What's that?
Like you get guaranteed money. There's no win show.
Get guaranteed money.
That's the worst win show. When are we gonna get rid of this nonsense win show?
Oh,
Like, you guys
man.
deserve to know what you're getting when you step in the
For
cage.
sure, bro. I've been part of that format for so long.
Right.
Like when I became free agent, that was kind of the big thing I wanted was a guaranteed purse, and guaranteed show, and because like a lot of the stuff in other organizations are like behind the doors, like hey, we'll give you a good job check and a bonus check, and like it does equal a lot of money, but you got to earn that.
Sure.
And it's us as athletes, the training camp is just the same as a loss as a win.
Right. And then I feel like the promise, or at least the hope of getting that, good job check is what keeps everyone in line, right?
For sure, man. Like that good job check, that the locker room check,
Right.
the mailbox money is what we call it. You go home and then you get a check showing up, and it's definitely it's great to get, but like it's not written in a contract. It's not
guaranteed.
It's not guaranteed.
You can't plan out your life.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just it's up to them pretty much.
Have you gotten those?
A lot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's the most?
Guaranteed like a locker room.
No, like that you were just like open your mailbox and it's like, oh, snap. DC told me a million
man,
one time.
Yeah, I got $1 million.
You got $1 million?
I got $1 million. Yeah.
You just open them.
my mailbox. Yeah.
Come on.
They used to like before they would wire the money, they would send it FedEx.
Really?
Yeah, so show up at your house, get a little package, open it up.
Any note?
Just
Or is it just-
a memo and the check?
That's
like
crazy.
yeah.
What fight was that?
I got one I got it twice. Ben Henderson and Melendez, my two title fights.
Oh, Henderson in Milwaukee, and then
Melendez and
yeah.
my title.
Oh wow, that was like those were pretty close to each other, right?
Yep. No, I took a year off. Remember we did the Ultimate Fighter season?
Right, that's right. Yeah.
But then like during all that time, man, like too, you got all the sponsors that come with that. Also, them are mailbox checks too. So yeah.
Wow, that is crazy. And when you get that check, do you call someone? Do you say like, "Yo, like thanks for this"?
Oh yeah, Dana, man. Me and Dana are still cool. You
guys are still cool?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
That's good. No hard feelings.
No, not at all. Like when I decided to become a free agent, I spoke to him first. I was like, hey, this is where I'm at in my career. This is kind of where what I'm deciding to do. And they gave me that Alex Morono fight to make this happen.
Right. And he was like, cool, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. We're still friends, man. I see him in Vegas. We gamble together still. Yeah.
Really?
Definitely.
You're a big gambler, man.
Yeah.
I see you
do
posting
well.
those slips.
I do well.
We had who was it? James Krause was on the show on Monday.
Yeah.
He says he makes more money off of MMA gambling than he does anything, coaching, fighting, anything. Real
I believe
estate.
it, bro. Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, it's quick. I mean, if you know the fight game and you know what's going on, like the last PFL season, I picked Taush and Ray Cooper. That was like a $52,000 win.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. And will you ever bet on your own fights?
No, can't.
Is that not allowed?
Yeah, it's not
Even
allowed.
if it's for you to win,
Not allowed.
not allowed. But you could bet on the rest of the card.
I don't bet on my cards at all. Like I'm so focused in these camps.
just don't wanna
yeah,
have
I don't
that-
even deal with it. Yeah.
Okay.
But like when I'm out of the gym, I mean I live in Vegas, so I drive to the casino and put picks in like nothing.
Right. And what about non-MMA? Do you do that?
Oh yeah, I do everything, bro. Tennis,
Really?
baseball.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What's your favorite non-MMA sport to
I'd say
bet on?
tennis is probably like one of the guarantees. Tennis, yeah.
Why tennis?
I got a guy that just gives me my picks. I pay a guy that gives me my picks. Big Bag Betting, Las Vegas. Shout out to him.
Wow.
I pay him monthly. He sends the picks, and you just go in and put it
And
in.
like, what's your record? Like, how good is he?
Oh, he's really good, man. The Devin Haney fight, I was a six-figure payday. I did 100,000.
Come on.
100,000. Yeah.
What was the pick? Him via decision?
Hit him via decision. That'd be the last time Devin Haney would be that close of.
Sure. I picked him too.
Yeah, for sure.
It was like a plus 110 or something,
Yep,
right?
Yep. And I was a six-figure payday for me.
Wow. So you bet a guy to do this for you?
I pay a guy to do this for me.
Sorry, you pay
So
a guy
I
to
pay
do
for
this.
his picks,
Oh,
and then he sends me his picks, and it's up to you to put them in.
and do you like tennis?
I don't even watch it.
You don't even.
I don't even watch it.
Really?
If I bet on it, I'll have it up like on my browser
Yeah.
and stuff. But yeah,
But isn't that like the fun part of betting? Like to actually watch the game that you have money invested in?
Once you start doing it a lot, it's just like if you do it like 2 or 3 times a week, it's like you don't want to sit there and watch every game.
Right.
Yeah. So like now,
What's the worst one to bet on?
the worst?
like,
Baseball, man. Baseball is hard.
It's hard?
Baseball's hard.
Why is that?
Just because like the team that's supposed to win would be up like 4 runs, and all of a sudden the last inning, the team that's supposed to lose
Right, they
hit
come
6
back.
runs. Yeah, it's like what the heck? Yeah. So baseball is hard.
What's the biggest bet you've won ever, all time?
Oh man, I don't even know. That's hard to say.
Not the Devin Haney one.
Nah, there's bigger
had
ones.
bigger
Yeah,
ones.
parlays, man. That was a straight pick.
Right.
But like for like like a percentage wise, putting down like 10 G's to win, 120, 150.
Right.
But that one I put down 85 to win 100,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Haney.
The Haney, yeah.
What about the fact that you're an underdog?
Crazy.
See that?
Yeah, crazy.
What do you think when you see that?
Shit, people should put the house on it.
Do you feel disrespected?
Not at all. I think Vegas odds. I mean, it's crazy where these Vegas odds come from. And they're always like pretty on point.
Yeah.
But the last fight, like I said, bro, it's like this will be a totally different fight. I went out there in a karate stance. I was throwing jump kicks, spin kicks. Like I was trying to point spar the guy. And this fight, I'm gonna go out there and try to knock this dude out.
Okay. So at this point, so you have this fight. Do you know when the championship would be? No.
Yeah,
Oh, you do know.
I do know.
It's no.
Friday after Thanksgiving, November 25th.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I love it.
You're okay with that?
Yeah, I need a little break actually. I've been in camp since December, bro. So like going back to back to back is weight cutting and all that. It's hard on the body.
Yeah. Did they tell you? I was asking Peter about that. Did they tell you if is it going to be on pay-per-view or ESPN?
I don't know. I
They're
haven't
holding
found out
that
about
out
that.
for
Yeah.
news. Well, I was trying to figure that out because they say they're going to get into the pay-per-view business.
Oh, that's dope. I hope so.
Are
I
you
hope so.
are you down with that? You
Oh,
think
heck
they're
yeah,
ready
man.
for that?
I think they are. I mean, they have a good team of guys that aren't MMA guys. Like they're coming in with a different mindset. So they're putting on the good fights. They're making the right relationships. I mean, you got like some celebrities that come out to these fights that are broadcasting this. So it's bringing in a different audience.
I asked him about Nathan Diaz, your old friend.
Yeah.
He's about to become a free agent. By the way, how do you feel about the way, like, they gave you Alex Morono on the way out.
Yeah,
They're giving
bro.
him Hamza.
Man, that is crazy. I respect Diaz though. Now that we fought, obviously we had our beef, coming up, but I respect him. And he's a fighter's fighter. Like he's not afraid to take the risk, and he always says it. He's like, there's not real fighters left in MMA. Like, but I fought everybody. I would come off a loss to Ferguson and fight Wonder Boy. Like that doesn't really happen. Like now, there's more businessmen in MMA now. Like it's kind of like not becoming boxing, but it's more politics involved. Like
Right.
they're trying to build guys up. Where Diaz is like, yo, give me the next best guy in line. So yeah, I respect that.
But they know he's not re-signing, so they're giving him the toughest guy.
I don't know if they're giving him that. I think he picked that fight, honestly.
Yeah. But I mean, like, if he would have said, give me, someone else, you don't think they would have?
I don't know. I'm not sure how his relationship is with UFC and all that. But I think the fight that he's getting is definitely a tough fight, bro. Like, yeah.
I mean, the worst possible match.
For sure, man. The
He's like a
dude's
minus.
a monster. Like I saw the guy training at the PI, and he's huge, bro. And I fought at 170, and like standing next to him is like, yo, this is a different level of
Right.
dude.
So Peter Murray just said that they're interested in Nathan Diaz.
Oh heck yeah.
What would you say? Because I am continuously shocked by fighters who don't test the market. And I don't think that testing the market is, in MMA for some reason, it's viewed as insulting towards the UFC. Like, oh, I just want to see what's out there. And maybe what's out there is best with the UFC. Like, it doesn't matter. But for some reason, it's almost viewed as like an insult. And I feel like guys like Anthony Smith, I was really surprised. He went all the way to the end and then he signed the day before. Maybe that was what he wanted and it was strategic on his end. But I think more fighters should test the market like you did, like other fighters did.
It's weird.
Why-
Like I think the fame that comes with fighting in the UFC, like these fighters are addicted to that. Like they want that more than they want the guarantee. They're like, I'm willing to risk not getting paid a certain amount to get the fame that comes with it and the recognition that comes with fighting on a UFC fight card. So the general public looks at the UFC like that's the best place to fight. It's the only place to fight. But like as fighters, you're supposed to take care of yourself, man. Most guys don't get to fight as long as I got to fight, man. So I got to like see all the phases of MMA change, from when the UFC got bought out from WME, how them changes happened. So I think, fighters definitely should test the market. And there's so many more organizations coming out now that are paying good guys, even the Eagle FC, Khabib show, like they're paying these guys good money.
So was there a part of you, like back in the day, were you one of those guys like, oh, I want to be in the UFC. I want to tell people I'm a UFC fighter. Like there's a prestige that comes with that, right?
Man, I got to become the champ really quick. I came from the WEC off the Showtime kick, and then boom, right to the 2 years later, I was the UFC champ. So I I didn't need that. You know, like it kind of just naturally came to me. But I see a lot of other guys that are like, I'm in the management business. I got fighters that will say no to more money just to get on a Contender Series fight.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you want to shake them?
Oh man, and then you can't really do anything because you're like, yo, like this is guaranteed money. That you can still build yourself, you can build your career, and then if that's what makes sense for your career, then you go to that. But I think eventually, you know, once the general public, you know, stop pushing that on fighters, then we'll see fighters making different decisions.
Considering you were so young when you became champion, like I've talked to Tyron about this, about like the mistakes he made when he was champion. He wishes he could do things a little differently. Were you like that too?
Oh yeah, man, for sure.
Was it bad?
Oh, it was bad. I was just actually talking to my nutritionist about it, Ian Larios. Like he's built to me from
Chef
like
Ian.
Yeah, Chef Ian, bro. He's been with me since like the beginning. So he's out here right now with me, and I'm like, bro, like the way I was at 25 and where I'm at 35, totally different. Totally
Like
different.
what were you doing? That was
Just
so
a wild boy, man. You know, I was
Yeah.
out there partying and, you know, enjoying that scene of like what I earned, you know, like
Sure.
to be I mean, living in Vegas, like, you know how that goes. So
Yeah.
yes, I was a wild boy out there, you know, and then I met my fiance, my soon to be wife, and kind of calmed me down and changed my perspective of life, I guess. And then you have kids, and then you know,
Right.
you gotta change the way you think.
Do you regret that? Like, do you wish?
No, I don't.
You don't.
I don't, man.
No regrets.
I had a good time. My life was everything that happened in my life was supposed to happen. I lost my dad at 15 years old, you know, and then bringing Sergio to see him become a world champion, it's like everything just keeps falling in place, man. So I'm blessed.
Do you think you could have been champion longer had you taken things seriously? If you were,
I just was contemplating that question. It's the lightweight division is just so stacked, bro. Like there's so many good guys at lightweight. Look at Oliveira, like where he was at losing, and now he's just on his tear, and he's looking like one of the best right now, and making himself in the conversation for one of the greatest lightweight of all time. And
Right.
it's crazy. You know, I fought him a couple years, like at 45, I fought him, and to see where he's at. But yeah, the lightweight division is so stacked. Yeah, maybe I could have, you know, had a longer run at champion, but everything happens for a reason.
I remember that night, 185.
Oh yeah.
That was crazy. It was shocking because you were on such a roll.
Mm-hmm.
And then wasn't there something about like no one took you to the hospital?
Oh man, so I was rushed. So like I won the Ben Henderson fight really quick, and I tore my PCL, and then I took the year off, and I fought Melendez in December, and then I fought RDA in March, and that was the mistake I made. Was going back really quick, trying to fight like from a training camp to a training camp. I should have took my rest. I should have took a break and, you know, decompressed and then did it again. You know, RDA was just a hungry dude. You know, when I fought him, like I hit him with some big stuff in that fight, and he was just walking through it. So yeah, like it was.
Why did you come back so fast?
I was out for a year.
Right. So
And
you
I was
wanted
like,
to make up.
I was like, I want to fight some fights. You know, I was pretty active in the WEC. I was fighting, you know, 4 or 5 times in 12 months.
Right.
And then the UFC, they slowed it down a little bit. You know, I fought Guida, and then I had my run that I went on. But yeah, I was the champ, and when you're the champ, you make the most money, obviously. So I was trying to get to that spot.
But that night you went to the hospital, right?
I did, yeah. It was a little bit of my fault too, but so like after the fight, the doctor looks at you and he says like, I recommend you go to the hospital or you don't go to the hospital. And I'm like, yo, I just want to go back to my corner and just decompress. And I had a concussion, and I didn't realize I had a concussion. So like I get back and the lights are like hurting my eyes, and I'm like, I start throwing up. And then Duke, my coach, Duke's been with me forever. Like he's like father figure for me. He's like, man, like this kid's sick. Like we gotta get him to the hospital. And it was already too late, I guess. Like I was the main event, so like everybody had left already. So I'm in the back throwing up, and yeah, it was. Some people got fired for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I won't say, but like a very notable
Yeah.
person. Yeah.
Sure.
That was a crazy. I was hearing about that the next day, and I was like, damn, this is a mess.
Yeah.
Did you have to stay in the hospital?
No, I didn't. I just had
Okay.
to get to the hospital, and like the ambulance service was already checked out or something.
Yeah.
I forget, and I'm like, you ought to call my own ambulance. But yeah, it is what it is. It happens.
That was a tough night for your family because your brother fought, and then you said never again. We're not doing this
Yeah.
ever again.
He got knocked out, and then boom, I go out there because I was watching his fight, you know, at the hotel room, and then
Oh,
I had to go
geez.
right out and go after that.
You tweeted something. Oh, actually, I think it might have been Sergio tweeted this recently. His first interview for UFC, he was super drunk, so you did it for him. Is that
Yeah,
true?
We both were drunk. We were in Vegas. It was like international fight week, and he just got signed, and it was like his first big interview. And I'm like, yo, let me do this for you. So I get on the phone, and yeah.
Do you remember who it was with?
I don't even remember who it was with.
And the person couldn't tell. 'Cause
Couldn't
it was
tell.
just a phone interview.
Couldn't tell. I was super cocky and confident for him.
But you were drunk too.
Oh yeah, we
you
both
didn't say
were.
that
Yeah,
in the tweet.
We both were. Yeah, we both were drunk.
Wow.
And it was international fight week, so we were just like, I think we were at the Mandalay Bay actually. We had a suite, and we were like, my agent at the time had interviewers coming through, and like we had
Right.
a busy day, and then he had his interview, and I'm like, give me that.
You did it for. How is he feeling?
He's doing good, man. I think, you know, being in his position he's at right now, becoming the champ, And then having that knee injury, bro. I've been there before, having that year off, and that's why I kind of shared them. I'm like, yo, take your time, like find out who you are outside of fighting, so you can not just be identified as that fighter. Because once you identify like that, that's where anxiety, depression, and all that starts plays into it. Because you get on social media, everybody's talking trash, everybody's like the naysayers, like. So he's finding who he is outside of the cage, man. Like he's got a beautiful fiance. He just bought his house. He's about to be 29 years old. Like he's in a good spot.
When do you think he comes back?
Probably after this tournament.
Okay.
Our teammate Rafian Stotts, he's killing it over there too.
What a character, this guy.
Rafian's the man.
Yes.
Me and Rafian had conversations when he was up and coming. He was just coming off a loss, spin back for his KO.
Yeah.
And I was telling him, I'm like, hey, this is gonna happen fast, bro. Like when it's your time, take advantage of it, and he's taking advantage of it.
So you think he'll fight again this year?
Nah,
no.
I think they're gonna wait till after the tournament. And I think they still have one more round before the championship.
So all right. So at this point, you have this situation with PFL, and then do you have another year with PFL after this, or are you done?
I have this. This is my season with PFL.
This is it.
Yep.
Holy smokes.
Yep. So this is a big one for me.
Pressure?
I'm always under pressure, bro. Every fight's the biggest fight, and I think people expect a lot from me from what I've done in my career. So, I mean, this one, it's a totally different focus than the last fight, obviously.
Right.
Like, that one was a non-focus Anthony Pettis, but now I know what I got to do in this fight.
How many more years you want to do this for?
Man, I'm 35, and I still love it, and I don't want to like be at the house at 40, 50 years old and be like, man, I could have won a couple more years, or I could have had a couple more fights. So I think once I know I'm done with it, then I'll be done with it.
And are you full-time 100% in Vegas?
Full-time 100%.
So how does that work with Duke and Rufus Sport?
He comes out to Vegas. So I do my camps more like a boxer now. Like
It's just you?
Just me. Yeah.
And where do you do it?
All the gyms in Vegas.
Okay.
Extreme Couture. I go to Syndicate for some sparring, depending who's in town. UFC PI.
Wow.
Jorge Capetillo, my boxing coach, is out there in Vegas too. So we just go to the gyms that we need to go to. I got my coaches that come in. Diego Moraes from Brazil, fly him in for the whole camp. Duke Rufus. I had Eric Koch here with me and Capetillo.
Wow. And PI, you could use it
Yeah.
because you're just boys.
Yeah, I guess.
I thought it was just for UFC fighters.
I mean, I go there all the time. Yeah.
You just walk in.
Yeah, go there.
And they're
all the
cool.
time. And they're cool.
Man.
I've done a lot for that company.
You have done. I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that they're cool with that. You didn't burn any bridges. There's a lesson there, right?
Yeah, man. The way I went out, I honored my contract. I fought my fights out, and I made a decision after I was done to move on.
Right. Wow. Do you ever go to Milwaukee? Like, do you have anything?
Yeah, I still have a house in Milwaukee.
Oh, you do?
My
Okay.
daughter still lives in Milwaukee.
Okay.
So yeah, I still go back and forth. But I'm a resident of Vegas full time.
And when's the wedding?
November.
Yeah.
November 11th, 2 weeks before the championship.
Damn. How do we feel about that?
I love it.
You're okay with that?
I'm okay with it.
It won't be too...
Life for me is totally different. I'm not like losing focus quick, and my wife keeps me, my fiance, soon to be wife, keeps me on track, bro. So yeah, there's a lot to look forward to in this year for me.
Honeymoon after the fight,
Honeymoon after the fight,
not before the fight. That would be.
And we got the baby too, so it's gonna be hard.
Will you even take a honeymoon?
I'm not sure. We haven't talked.
We haven't
about
discussed that.
Yeah, we're always on vacation, so
That's true. Yeah. And what about you? You were very open about. You mentioned depression and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You spoke a lot about that, and I really appreciate you doing that. How is that going for you?
the dude at the UFC PI, I still see him as well, Micah.
Okay.
He's one of he introduced me to mental health. Before that I didn't know about it. I was like just navigating this by myself. And social media is just one of the worst places to not be in a healthy mindset for it. And once I was understood what anxiety and depression was and how to handle my actions, feelings, and the way I can relive my life, it changed my whole perspective on all this stuff, man.
So is this something that you're actively
still doing?
Still talking?
I saw him last Friday before I left. He just texted me 2 days ago.
Wow. And it has changed.
I recommend it to all fighters.
Right.
Yeah, all athletes, bro. Like we're under a lot of pressure, especially as fighters. Like they look at us like these macho people that should like have no feelings and go out there and kill the guy in front of you. Like we go through it just like everybody else, man. Like we have the anxiety, we have the depression, we have the pressure of performing, and you get 15 minutes to do it, 25 minutes if you're lucky, and if it doesn't go your way, you don't get to fight for a long time. That's why I kind of like this format. I lost 5 weeks ago, and I'm right back at it. The season format's cool.
And then you wake up and you see people being like, "You suck," and all
retire. I see that all the time, and I hate that when I see like a guy losing. Like, oh, you need to retire. He's done. Like, they're fans in the MMA write people off so quick, and we're people too.
How's the management company going?
It's going great, man. I started with some ground up guys. We went to the base level. I recruited a bunch of guys. I'm having APFC in Milwaukee,
See
August
that?
12th.
Right.
A lot of guys fighting on that card. So yeah, I'm building slowly and small, but you know we'll get there.
How do you have time to do all this?
Good business partners.
Okay.
Good business partners.
How active are you in APFC?
Very active.
Really?
Yeah. I was in Milwaukee, man. So I set up the venue. I set up the sponsorships. You know, we crushed it in sponsorships. So shout out to everybody in Milwaukee. We almost did 100,000 in ticket sales. So
Wow.
we're doing well.
And then in terms of signing fighters, like how do you go about that? Like who? Because I see you.
I got a team of guys that
Who are
also do
looking?
that. Yeah, they're looking at talent, and you know we're going to the ground up. Like we didn't go and try to steal guys and like
Right.
convince guys to move over. We started at the ground up. You know, we're in the local level right now. We're getting some good guys, and now I have a platform for them to perform on.
But I see you. Like I saw you mention a guy who fought for KSW.
Oh man, we got guys all over the place.
Right.
Yeah.
So like you're not just these guys aren't fighting like local shows.
No, well, they're fighting local mid-level local shows.
Sure, I mean KSW is pretty big
for
time.
sure.
Yeah.
But we're not. My first guy that fought on APFC signed with the PFL, Argo Husick.
Wow.
He was on APFC in Florida, and he signed with PFL. Fought Brandon Laughlin. They had a great fight.
Right.
But yeah, it's cool to see. Like the whole thing I want to do was give these guys a platform that was able to showcase their talent, and it's happening, man. So it's cool to see.
So this is great because again, like I spoke to James on Monday and he was talking about like you got to prepare for life after.
Yeah.
I feel like you are still in your prime. You're still, you're about to fight in the semis, maybe the finals if all goes well. But you've got all these things that once it's over, once the music stops,
It
there's
will
a bunch-
stop. Yeah, I know that, man. I knew that way back when I opened up, my first businesses. I had a sports bar, barbershops,
Yeah.
gym. I set up my gyms. I know there will be a time when fighting will be done, and I've been blessed to be able to fight, man. This will be like my 17th year fighting, professionally at the highest level, man. So like I've been blessed to be in this position. So yeah, I've had a lot of time to make things happen.
So Friday, Hulu Theater rematch. You're pretty good in rematches, right?
Yeah, undefeated in rematches.
Undefeated in rematches. Underdog.
Yep.
Bet the house. My guy GC in the back, Connor. You'll see him on
He's
the
a
way
better?
back. He's a big time better.
Oh, man.
And
Good value.
he put a few units on you.
Good value.
So
it's good value there.
Don't tell
yeah.
Stevie that when he comes by. But yes, he's picking you. So I wish you the best, man. It's so
Thank
good
you,
to
man.
have you.
Good
in
to see you
studio.
again, man.
Yeah, you're the man.
Yep.
Anthony, wish the best for you and your family, and good luck on Friday, and good luck with the wedding too.
Appreciate it, bro. Thanks.